So I'll be talking a little bit about World Autism Awareness Month. April is World Autism Awareness Month, and because Michaela and I both have roots in special education, we really like to spread awareness and education whenever possible. So I'll be talking about autism, what it is, some characteristics, and then I'll be also talking about spreading awareness and how to get involved. So a lot of the information that I'm talking about comes from autismspeaks.com. This is a really great website, and it's also the philanthropy of one of the sororities on campus, so we thought that was a really good way to tie in some Mount Union Pride with some of our research. So autism is characterized as a condition that involves some issues with speech, some issues with social skills, and some repetitive behaviors that can lead to intense behaviors, and some fixations that can lead to intense behavior. So some kiddos with autism are perfectly verbal, and this is why autism is considered a spectrum, because there are people on the end of a spectrum that really don't have many symptoms of autism, don't really show some of the stereotypical autism behaviors, and then we have the other end of the spectrum where some kiddos are nonverbal, some have developmental delays, and some individuals with autism need extensive help. So autism is on a spectrum. Some of the characteristics of autism include challenges with social skills, that repetitive behavior, and the problems with speech and nonverbal communications. And then there's sometimes problems with some social skills where people with autism just can't really read other people, and that joint attention factor of being able to follow along with what someone else is following along with sometimes is a little bit of a challenge. But people with autism, I have a kiddo right now that his superpower is he has a fixation on letters, and he loves letters, and he's in kindergarten, and he can read like H-level books that are for fourth graders because he loves letters and knows the sounds and was able to read so quickly. So there are definitely, when we talk about autism, some people just talk about the negatives and the symptoms, but what comes with autism is some of those fixations that can be really beneficial. And kids with autism, I mean, Michaela probably can vouch for this as well. I teach in a autism, not a unit, but sort of an autism unit, and you don't even look at your kiddos and think, oh, they have autism. You look at them as just kiddos. And so we both really enjoy working with kids with autism, and we both will advocate and spread awareness about autism and acceptance, because we think it's so important to view kiddos with autism not just as their diagnosis, and really view them with their strengths, and view them as people who can learn just as much as anyone else can. So we really like to challenge all of our audience to get involved. If you don't know a lot about autism, research it. Research the kiddo's strengths. Research how to support someone with autism, or maybe support a caregiver of someone with autism. And autismspeaks.com is a really great website to do that, and there's a ton of information out there about autism. And that's kind of what we would like to challenge people to do is, yes, we're doing a presentation on social stories, but we also want people to be able to learn something about autism and learn about people that have autism, because at the end of the day, their diagnosis does not define them, and people and kiddos with autism have so many strengths that the world can benefit from.